people asked about how I made this pattern. Well, basically, it's just a variation on a Celtic cross done twice. A lot of people, they kind of get hung up on the angles. I don't even worry about that. What I'll do is I'll take my blank and I'll kind of figure out how long I want my cross to be, where I want the end to go. Then I'll just mark, and I try to be symmetrical on both ends so that everything can line up in the center. Once I have these marks, I'll rotate them around, take them over to my sled, and I'll line up the kerf with this side, and that'll give me my angles. And I'll just put down my fence, put it in place, I'll make a cut. I don't cut all the way through. I leave about 1/8 at the top. Just don't even measure, just close. Make that cut. I'll prepare a piece of my accent strips that I can work down into here for speed. And to do all this in just a couple hours, I'll flood that with CA glue on both sides, all around. Then I'll come back, and to make sure I'm tight, I'll clamp it up, hit it with the activator, run over to the bandsaw, cut all this off, bring it back, and do the second side. So one thing that helps keep me in order is I number my end. I don't number them up here, because if I get a little bit sloppy cut on the bandsaw, I'll just bump it into the belt grinder, and that'll take my numbers away. So I'll keep my numbers at the same end every time. I'll do the second side, same thing, make my cut, drop it in, my accent piece, glue it, clamp it, activate it, trim it off, do that 4 times. I like this is just a cheap sled that I threw together out of some scraps. I like to double stick tape these down because they're pretty solid. That way I can pop them up and I can do different angles without having to build a really fancy sled. Now, the interior is the same exact procedure. It's just based off of my center. Everything is off, my measurements are off the center, or same off of the end, because that way I can get everything to crisscross through the middle. So for any of you that were asking about how I did the blank, that's how I make it. Quick, easy. I can glue this up, cut it, glue it up in about an hour's time, and be ready to walk over and put it on the lathe.